I was on the air with Nick yesterday, and most of our time on the air was dedicated to AEW. I really feel, and I actually said it on the show with Nick, I feel like the last 3 months, probably more, that AEW has done a really good job of presenting stories on the air that have gotten you hooked to make you want to tune in to it the next week. One thing that Bully and I talk about a lot on Mondays after an AEW pay-per-view is, wow, what a great pay-per-view they had, but how are they going to follow it up? And I think week to week they have done a good job of following things up and having stories and presenting stories that hook you to watch the next week. One for me is MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. You know, that's been an ongoing story. What's going on with Hangman Page, Darby Allin's return. Like, they have done things on a weekly basis to make you want to tune into that show. And I'll use Wednesday night's show for an example. I thought it was good. I thought it was more than good. I thought it was very good. And on a consistent basis, AEW shows have been very good. And that's how you're going to bring an audience in. That's how you're going to bring eyes that may have left your product and get them to stay and watch the following week.
Yeah, I mean, they jumped 100,000 viewers or something like that, which is crazy. But I know you're going to love this because you're such a fan of his, but MJF is a major part of that. Like, he was involved in 3 or 4 different segs of the show Wednesday night, but he's also got a massive movie out. And so maybe there's some connection there. I'm a big believer of like getting eyes on your superstars outside of the wrestling bubble can bring a few viewers here and there. And maybe people watching Happy Gilmore find him very entertaining because he was absolutely hilarious in the movie. And they're going, wow, I want to see what he does on AEW, or Adam Sandler talking about MJF and how he's like a son to him and so on. And so anybody who's a massive Adam Sandler fan was like, oh, he likes MJF. I want to tune in and see what MJF does. So those kind of things can bring new viewers. But again, also with the storylines have been good. The matches have always been amazing. Like, we know that they can go in the ring. But like, I enjoyed the Speedball Mox match massively. Like, that match was fantastic. And I like what they're doing with playing different areas for their interviews, parking lots, backstage. I thought it was so cool that they did an interview in the rampway of the arena during a live show. Like, that's pretty awesome to be able to do something like that. And we talked about it yesterday with Tommy, how like Renee can control a crowd. She's so incredible at what she does. So I attribute the bump in that. But also, I think the biggest thing for me is they're just doing them. If you look back a year ago, there was a lot of like back and forth where they're taking shots at WWE and blah, blah, blah. And you saw it like WrestleMania week this year. They had one of the best shows they'd ever had right before WrestleMania. And then WWE comes out and takes a bunch of shots at them through media, through interviews, through podcasts. And it's high level people at WWE taking kind of shots at Tony and AEW. And they just completely ignored it. I think they've kind of removed that black cloud over their head that is WWE at times, when they're just kind of bagging on them. And then like, when their talent's taking shots at WWE and all of those things, like, it just makes you think about WWE and it makes them look sour and angry, and they've stopped. And I think that is a massive thing in their favor.
And it's a great point. A few points that you made that I completely agree with. We talked about the stories. I love what they're doing with the Young Bucks. This decline of the Young Bucks team. And like, you know, on Wednesday they put the name of like their names when they were with Generation Me in TNA. Like, is that going to go over some people's heads? Maybe, but there's going to be people who get it and are going to laugh. And then the commentators did a good job of like, what's going on here? The lack of pyro when they come out, just like a little fizzles.
Sad
like,
Corbin, you know, baby.
Like the fact that they don't have a name for their finisher anymore. Like, things like that. Like, it's fun, it's entertaining, and it shows a different side of the Young Bucks than just super kicks in the ring. You make a great point. Happy Gilmore 2 is one of the biggest movies going on right now. It's trending #1. It did monster numbers on Netflix. MJF is one of the stars of the movie. And what is AEW? They're featuring him in multiple segments on the show. So if you're somebody that's like, all right, I like wrestling. I've never watched AEW, but man, I loved MJF and Happy Gilmore. Let me tune into AEW. They showed him enough throughout the show that they hooked you and they're not going to let you go. And now MJF is back where he should be in the main event picture in AEW, which I really, really love. So I think they're doing a lot to keep you. And again, just putting on good shows. You put on good shows, then people are going to watch and consistently watch your product. And I think this number that they got on Wednesday, and again, that's just the cable number.
Yeah, that doesn't include.
We're finding out that more people are streaming AEW than maybe are actually watching on cable, because AEW skews to a younger audience, Bishop, and we know a younger audience isn't watching on cable, they're streaming it. Yeah. So I think that's really good news for AEW.
Yeah, I don't have cable, so I watch it on Max, and I think that's a lot of people. I mean, how many households don't have cable? I mean, you see the numbers from WWE when it was Fox and USA. Fox always had massive numbers because it was free. It was in every house that wanted to just plug their TV into the wall, basically, versus USA, you're paying for cable. And I think people just, outside of YouTube TV, I just don't think many people have traditional cable anymore.
I honestly don't know anybody right now that has cable anymore.
Yeah.
Like, producer Paul, neighbors of mine. I know everybody on my block, they cut the cord. They don't have cable anymore.
His basement might have cable.
Paul's?
Yeah, it might. It might have like a hard wire in there, but I don't know what kind of cable it is,
Well, one thing I do know is AEW is putting on a product that people are wanting to tune into, and I'm enjoying it right now.